Come in! Yes, we are having a door now. How good is that? But oh, forgotten something. Need to get used to it that there's a door now. I've got forgotten the here, these are the missing batteries for our EEL version 5 do-it-yourself kit. You know, the ones which were sent to a different customer, and I got his batteries. So there was a bit of a mix-up at the EEL warehouse, and they sent my one here further down to Steve in Port Macquarie, and I got his, but he had CATL cells, while I have here the EVE LF280K with a double pole. You know, these are the 4 missing for our EEL battery version 5 do-it-yourself kit, or whatever it's called now. So we can finally finalize this do-it-yourself box here, build the whole battery, charge it, and measure the capacity. But first of all, we need to disassemble a few things here, because we need to compress these cells anyway. And we also have to take off the front plate again, because we need to get access to the compression plate. So there's still a bit of work involved. But first of all, welcome back here to the off-grid garage in, I closed the door. Yeah, in not so sunny Australia. It's actually still raining for days. They're predicting more rain to come over the weekend. So until next week, another 4 or 5 days or so. It's not pretty, it's not pretty. And we have only -10, +20. So I've got 10 amps outside at the moment. That's all. 1.7 kilowatts plus 250, so close to 2 kilowatt coming in from the solar. We are at 21%. But this is for all 7 batteries now, and 20% is like 20 kilowatt hours. So it is still a lot of storage there. And oh yeah, there's no handle. But we are going to add more storage with this EEL battery here soon, soonish at least. Alright, so we have epoxy sheet, EVA tape in between all the battery cells at the end and at the front as well. And now we can mount the compression plate. Oh, it's just long enough, these screws. I think I mentioned this in the original video about the version 5 do-it-yourself box here from EEL already, but they will go back to foam and epoxy sheets in between. They're not using these plastic strips anymore in between the cells. I was a bit concerned about this, what they did, because it gives an uneven compression situation for the cells, if there is compression at all. So they actually reacted fast and said, okay, we are going back to epoxy sheets and foam, what they originally had in the version 4 do-it-yourself box already. So that's always good when manufacturers in China react pretty fast about feedback from the community. All right, we left all the bus bars here. They are just hand tight, if at all. So nothing is tightened here. The cells can still move and the bus bars with them. When we now compress this stuff here, let's see how far we need to go. Oh, son of a bitch here. So I don't think we need to torque anything here. It is just a nice snug fit. Perfect. And it is not too tight actually. There's still enough room here for these cells to expand and contract again. So this is all nicely built. Compression plate is fully screwed in. See, there's no gap in between the frame and the compression plate. And the EVA tape in between the cells gives us enough sponginess, if this is a word, so the cells can actually do whatever they need to do in this compression system here. Nice. I like it. And people are always asking, Andy, why are you promoting compression now? I thought you are a non-compressing guy. You haven't compressed any of your batteries in the battery shelf. And yeah, I still think compression is not necessary with these batteries here because they last so long even without compression. And the calendar age will kill them before you actually reach any 6, 8 or even 10,000 cycles with these batteries. So compression is not really necessary. And we have seen here after 4 years, we couldn't measure any degradation. Same capacity as on day 1. But with these boxes here, there's actually no real way to avoid a compression, because these boxes are just designed to have a compression plate at the front. And when you tighten all these screws, you automatically compress the cell. So it's not like we need to think about the compression or build a compression. It is already in the box, so why not using it? So there's actually no reason to not using it, right? It is just part of the battery build and design. So all the cells are installed, and I've also scanned the remaining 4 batteries. If we have a look here in the history, you can see all 16 batteries of this box now. And the last 4 here at the top were the ones I just scanned. So these were the missing ones. And all of the batteries are from the 1st of August 2024. So they all come from the same factory and they have the same date. So they look really, really good. Super A-grade batteries with double terminals. Very high quality cells here. Got very high expectations on the capacity test, so don't disappoint me. So the only thing we need to modify is this connector here to the heating pad, which apparently goes to the positive of the battery, and the negative is then connected and switched by the BMS depending on the temperature measured here with the sensor. Yeah. I'm not expecting that I'm ever using this heating pad under these batteries here, but I want to connect it and see how it actually works. And I would like to install this fuse in between here as well. This includes like an 8 amp class fuse now, these little tube fuses here. And this should be sufficient to give us a bit protection here, because this wire here is completely unprotected and goes to the battery positive, and there's no fuse in this circuit here at all. So we are using this one here actually to the positive, and I'm just soldering this one here now to this cable, and we have a bit of protection here. And of course I'll link these fuses here down below. So I've now torqued all the screws of the terminals here with 4 Newton meters as always, marked them all off, that they are checked and torqued, connected all the balance cables, left the temperature sensors here hanging in the air because there's no other way. I don't like this. I don't like this situation. What are they measuring? Air temperature inside the box in 4 different corners. Makes no sense. Mounted the JK Inverter BMS here, torqued these ones with 4 Newton meters. I need to mark them off, because I torqued them just now. So, all right. These ones were all checked by the factory. They've got a black pen. And the heating pad temperature sensor obviously just lives down here in the bottom of the case. There's no real place for it, I guess. So is this the coolest place in the box here? I don't know. But that's just how it is. The cables are not long enough to do anything else with it. It stays down here in this BMS compartment in the bottom, and we can now mount the front plate and connect the positive, negative, and also the bridge over there to make actually a 48-volt battery out of it. And then we connect the balance cables. Short one goes to here, and the long one with the black connector goes into this port. Okay, I think that's it. This is all torqued. Alright, we have now the positive for the BMS connected to the main positive of the battery, as well as the heating port here. This goes to the main positive as well, and this one has our fuse in here. Last balance cable, everything is connected. Perfect. Looking good. Alright, first test. Oh, it turns on. Nice, 99% state of charge. That is fantastic. Because in these weather conditions, I need every kilowatt hour. Now, the battery is clearly not on 100% state of charge. 3.28 looks fairly balanced. This doesn't mean anything because we are not fully charged, so you cannot compare battery voltages, cell voltages at all if you are not above 3.45 volts. Oh shit, we've got an alarm. It would be nice to have a big epoxy sheet on top of all this stuff here now, you know, before we put the metal lid on. Just to cover all these bus bars here. Just saying. Alright, I've just set this battery here to number 8. Yeah, because I have so many JK BMSs now. Let me show you here. And they all have the same name, PB2A1620S. I've started renaming them already, so I know where they actually are, which battery. Okay, there should be one with number 8 now. Yeah, there it is. See, this one has just a number in there. Is this the serial number? 4090? Let's have a look. Alarm. About. It is the serial number. Oh, wow, okay. Modify name. So let's call this one EEL version 5. Modified. Search EEL version 5. Perfect. Battery is fully charged. Modify password in time. Alright, thank you. And we have to do all the setup here. I'll do this later. 280 ampere hours. And we should see a jump in state of charge. Oh no, we don't. Still on 100%. Ah, I need to click on lithium iron phosphate up here. It thinks we are on LTO. Okay, now we are on lithium iron phosphate and we are on 280 ampere hours. Okay, and now we see the capacity dropping into 66% state of charge now. Perfect. Modify password in time. Yep, I'll do this later. Alright, cool. So far, this concludes the build of the EEL version 5 do-it-yourself kit here. Very, very nice. I really like this kit here. It looks amazing. I like the white actually, with the black trolley and the black handles here. Gives a very nice contrast and the build quality is superb. Alright, as always I've got heaps of screws left, or some of them may go into the terminals actually here. And I still got heaps of screws left. Some of these ones are for the lid, but these ones here, I have no idea. I don't know. So I guess I never need to buy screws again. I've got so many leftovers. Alright, let's put this battery to charge and I'll be back on camera here when we hit the 3.45 volts to see how good they are matched actually, right? Because this should fairly equally charge up. It can actually take a while because I haven't got much energy left. Maybe there is a bit less cloudy weather tomorrow and I can charge this battery a bit, but it may take a few days. But for you, it is just a second. Alright, see you in a second. What we are going to do now is increase the voltage on our power supply slowly. I'm going to 56 volts. There we go. And we can already see we've got 42 millivolt deviation. The balancer is active. And cell number 4 is our highest cell at the moment, 3.5 volts already. Okay, now we basically wait until the current goes to 0 and then we slowly increase the voltage again. What are you looking at? There's the battery. And so on and so on. So give the balancer a bit time to get this all organized for you. And when we are close to 57, 58 volts, then the battery is 100% fully charged and we can start the discharge test. So I'm still receiving a lot of emails and comments under my videos if we should still do a manual top balancing, so parallel all 16 cells for a week or so, make sure they are all equalized. I wouldn't do this anymore. Now that we have active balancers, either in the BMS or as a separate device in your battery, we are not doing any manual top balancing anymore with batteries. So let the balancer do it. It is far more convenient. And it's also a good test for your system. So I'm basically watching cell number 4 now, yeah, 3.528. And all the other cells are still lower. And we've got a deviation of 55 millivolt. So I'm going to increase the voltage again by 0.8 volts. 56.8. Current increases to 21 amps. It looks like it's fairly stable, just under 3.6. So now cell number 6 is catching up. 70 millivolt deviation. Balancer is working. Okay, let's go up to 57.2 volts. Let's see. Watching cell number 6 again, it's our highest. So 3.6 now. because I don't want to reach 3.65 volts, the BMS would turn off the charger, and we need to wait until it hits the recovery voltage again and the charger turns on again. So I'm just doing it manually here because I want to quickly fully charge this battery, and then we let it sit there, top balance it, and then we are good to go. So 3.612 in cell number 4. We can still go up a little bit. 57.6 I have set. So let's see. We are coming close. Okay, so I'm going down again. 57 volts. That is 0 amps. Okay, 57.4. And I need to watch these two cells, number 4 and number 6. They are the highest, over 3.6 volts, or number 1 as well. And everything else is just underneath, so there's not too much deviation in this pack here. 80 millivolt at the moment at 57.4 volts. So that's actually pretty good. But this does not mean that these battery cells are well selected and well matched. Yeah, it only shows at the moment the batteries are all on the same state of charge. But even if one battery would only have 100 ampere hours, yeah, and the others have 280 ampere hours, we would still reach the same situation, the same result with this 100 ampere hour battery out of 16. And we could still top balance the battery at 3.65 volts. So it is not an indication how good or how well these battery cells are matched, only that they have the same state of charge at the moment. Okay, my friends, we are now fully top balanced. I would say we are at 58.26 volts. We can probably go to 58.3 here on the charger. But yeah, I mean, come on, right? We are under 5 millivolt deviation. Look at this. Balancer just kicks in again, tries to balance everything out, but one of the cells could actually hit now 3.65 volts and the BMS turns off. But this is 100% charged and 100% top balance now. Okay, let me connect everything for the discharge test and I'll walk you through the setup. Alright, I haven't done this for a while. I am going to use a resistor to pre-charge the capacitors for this inverter. Otherwise we're getting a huge spark if I would connect this one. But if we pre-charge, see, a bit of a spark, and then we connect it, hold it, and find the screw. Oh, here it is. Alright. I usually turn off the circuit breaker, connect the inverter, and then turn on the circuit breaker. And there's no harm to the BMS or something. They can cope with that. But the EEL box doesn't have a circuit breaker or a battery switch anymore. So we have to use the resistor. Link down below. Alright, change of plan. I have moved the battery here in the battery room because I want to connect it to the Phoenix inverter. So we can actually pump energy into the system. And from here we charge the vehicle on the other side through the Victron electric vehicle charger. And therefore we can adjust the current going into the vehicle, right? It is charging already on 6 amps at the moment, but none of this energy is drawn from this battery yet because this inverter is still off. And I've got also the good old F-Chow, the Peter inverter here. This is the 3.5 kilowatt version, 48 volt, one of the best standalone off-grid inverters out there. I still haven't made a test and a review about this one here, right? But almost 2 years ago we have tested the 12 volt version, the 3 kilowatt F-Chow inverter. We call it the Peter inverter because this could be... It's a combination of letters which doesn't make sense to pronounce. Hence we call it the Peter inverter. So, Peter inverter is connected to the same battery as well. And the extension cable there goes to my vehicle because I can adjust the charging speed as well. So we can vary both of the vehicles to meet the 0.2C we want to see for this battery, right? That's a 0.2C discharge test. So 280 ampere hour battery and 0.2C means 56 amps. We've got the smart shunt in here. This is already reset to 000, all good. And I've connected both of the inverters here to the smart shunt. So we're measuring the energy coming out of the battery and then going into the Peter inverter and into the Phoenix inverter, into the generator. And here on this side, we've got both positives connected. One goes to the Peter inverter, the other one goes to the Phoenix inverter as well. Now, that's a very nice and simple setup this time. But I really need to charge both vehicles anyway, so we are dumping this 15 kilowatt hours in both vehicles. Heaps of space in there, perfect. All right, I would say let's turn on the Peter. This one should start my car automatically, and then it should ramp up to fans coming on. Yeah, 1.1 kilowatts. So this is the lowest setting I can do. Oh, there's a software update. Okay, later. 5 amps is the lowest I can charge the vehicle with. And we now turn also on the Phoenix inverter manually. Green light should come on every second. There we go. And this now dumps another, I don't know what the settings actually are. Let's have a look. And this one sits on 7 amps. Let's see how much current we are pulling. 51.8 ampere hours. All right. So what we can do is we can allow 8 amps. Here, 8 amps. So we are still charging the Tesla with this one with 5 amps and 7 amps going into the system and going into the other vehicle as well. So that should be 55.56 amps. Perfect! Look at this. That's amazing. Exactly 0.2 C. Huh? We never had it this precise. Alright, and we can see now here the generator. This is the Phoenix inverter. Produces 7 amps. 1.6 kilowatts going into the big inverter, into this one, and this one actually produces 1.9 kilowatt output at the moment, and 1.1 going into the Aura. That is amazing. Nice. Alright, we have a nice distribution now. One inverter here, the other inverter here. Both can be adjusted to meet our 0.2 C for the discharge test. Alright, it is now, oh shit, 6:45 p.m. already. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It will be midnight. It will be after midnight when this test is done. And I'll be back here in the garage to monitor everything, to have you over here with the camera so we can see what's going on. Does that all make sense to you? This is a bit of battery kung fu. Let's check on the smart shunt test here as well quickly. That everything is good. We are at 99%. We have pulled 3 ampere hours already, not now. Yeah, 0.2 kilowatt hours. Beautiful. Alright, my friends. I'll have a sped now, I'll have dinner now, I'll do some editing, and I'll be back shortly after midnight. Crazy. It is already a late night show, but it will be even darker later on. Alright, my friends, it is 11:30. I'm back right on time to witness the shutdown of the battery here. We are at 1% state of charge. I don't think it goes to 0 actually, because well, we need to hit the threshold in the BMS before it shows 0. So we are discharging still with 55 amps. Both vehicles are still charging. It is also fascinating that this battery is humming. It's actually vibrating. Just put your hand on here. Can you feel that? The whole battery is humming. I don't know why. You hear that? As if there's a fan running. There's nothing inside. There's 63 amps. And the whole thing is vibrating. What's going on inside this box? Okay, the reason I have taken off all the screws again, I want to take off the lid of the battery here. I want to have a look with the infrared camera after 5 hours discharging this battery with 60 amps. If there's any thermal issues or any hotspots we can probably detect. So let's get the infrared camera. Why is it humming? There's nothing inside. What is humming? Now it's gone. It's just the lid on top. Crazy. Alright, here we go. This time I make sure everything is recording correctly. So this is the battery from the top. We can see this little spot here jumping around. What does it say? 33 degrees. These are all the battery cells from the top. All looks good. And here the BMS front compartment. There's a spot 40 degrees. There's this little inductor on the BMS, but nothing else to see here. Cables, they have probably like 30 degrees or so. That's it. That's all. The Peter inverter with the 2 engines. Look at this. That looks cool actually. And here all my cabling. That's a reflection of the aluminium panel. There's the servo. And the 2 inverters. 36 degrees. Perfect. Alright, yeah, I cannot see any issues here with this battery. There's no obvious hotspot. So that looks all perfectly fine. Nice. Okay, let's put the lid back on and see if it still does this humming. Yes, it starts immediately again. That's crazy. So we have just a low voltage warning on the Phoenix inverter as well. The smart chart shows already 0% state of charge. We are under 48 volt. We are actually under 47 very soon. Putting 63 amps, and we have discharged 293 amp hours. That is 15.1 kilowatt hours from a. That is 15.1 kilowatt hours from an LF280K. Very, very nice. That's beautiful. And we are still going, actually, we are still going, right? All the cells are under 3 volts, just under 3. We've got 81 millivolt deviation at 46 volts. This inverter may shut down here at some stage with an under voltage situation then, because we're at 46 volts now. The Phoenix inverter will keep running because the low voltage disconnect is on 39 volts. So it basically keeps running until the BMS turns off. Okay, lowest cell is cell number 9 here, 2.83. 60 amps, we are pulling 45 volts. Everything looks good. Now it has jumped to cell number 4, cell number 9, cell number 4 are the lowest at the moment. It's actually good that it jumps around. That tells us that all the cells are very equally discharged now. And you don't have only one cell which is always the lowest. Alright, we are not too far away from a shutdown. And then the BMS will disconnect our both inverters at the same time. Okay, 43, I can hear the inverter running hard now. The fans are slowing down. We're still running. 210 volts it outputs. And we are at 2.6 volts now. So I think the Peter inverter will shut down. We are at 43 volts and it's still running though. That's actually pretty good. So let's go back to the smart shunt because this is the most important stuff we want to see. 15.3 kilowatt hours, 298 ampere hours, yeah? So that is actually pretty good for a 280 ampere hour battery, right? We are very low, 42 volts. Oh my god, you would never drive your battery down that much. That is super, super low. 298.4, so we won't see 300. I don't think so. We will shut down any moment. We're still pulling 60, oh you can see it here on the screen anyway, 60 amps. What's the lowest voltage here? 2.57. There we go. The red number is the lowest cell. 41.7 volts and the inverter is still going. That is insane. 299.2. 2.52 volts we have in cell number 6. There we go. Peter inverter has turned off. The Phoenix inverter is still running. So we actually see the voltage going up a little bit now because we have taken away this load. So let's see. Yeah, voltage is actually rising a bit again. Look at this, the battery is recovering. Wow, that is crazy. Okay, we have just crossed the 300 ampere hour mark. 2.59 again. Look at this. Okay, we need to put more load on this battery here. I think we have just disconnected. Damn it. And we haven't got the number. I think we missed it. Let me see if I can recover it. Jeez. 2.5 volts. We've got alarm. What does it say? Over discharge protection. Yes, perfect. We are still online. So we have a discharge capacity, discharge energy here of 15.5 kilowatt hours of these batteries, 301 ampere hours. It has discharged the battery down to 41.5 volts. Look at this. That was the lowest voltage we have measured. All right, my friends. Yeah, that is very interesting how this all works out. So 301 ampere hour or 15.5 kilowatt hours from 280 ampere hour cells. Crazy. So, and these are the batteries here from EEL we have just tested here. EVE LF280K, and they are actually advertised here as 310 ampere hours, and we got 301 ampere hour out of it. I mean, it is a 280 ampere hour battery, so you're still getting a lot more energy, but 310, I don't know. I haven't seen this, I cannot confirm this. And these are the ones here with the double hole M6 studs. Lithium iron phosphate battery version 3, rated capacity 280 per cell and real capacity over 310 ampere hour per cell. Well, my one didn't have 310. Which is actually good because otherwise people are commenting again that I'm getting selected cells here. So obviously not, because otherwise we would have tested them with over 310 ampere hours. So EEL usually doesn't do any discounts, any deals or something. They gave me a 5% discount voucher. At this point, I'm not sure if this is only for Europe because they've got the warehouses full of this stuff. And honestly, you've seen, I think they are fantastic batteries. They are super low in price. What is it here? $299 US for 4 of them. That's 4 of them, yeah. Tax is included and flexible bus bars as well. You can't go wrong with it. Okay, I'll link all these information down below for the do-it-yourself box version 5 and also for the battery cells, discount code, everything is down below and on my website as well. So yeah, my friends, leave your comments down below. What do you think about these batteries? What do you think about the EEL version 5 do-it-yourself box here? I think it's pretty good. It is well priced. A lot of power, a lot of performance, a lot of energy, a lot of capacity. All right, it is 12:30. I need to get this all up and running again, parallel the battery shelf with the global tower again and get rid of this red flashing light there. And thank you as well for 107,040 subscribers. This is exactly at 6 minutes past midnight. Thank you so much and welcome here to the channel. Yeah, we are doing sometimes late night shows until the next day because the battery tests are taking so long. And of course, also thank you very much for all your generous donations. Yeah, some people buying me a beer or a coffee or become a channel member. I'm dropping some exclusive content there from time to time. And you can also leave a nice comment down under the videos. Click the like button, share these videos in forums. And this all combined makes these videos here possible. So thank you very much. Without you, we wouldn't be here in the garage. I would be in bed for 2 hours already. Alright my friends, until the next video. When we do we do something different than battery testing, I guess. Ah, yes. You will like this. Okay, until then, guys, you stay charged, stay safe, and thanks again for watching. Have a good night. Bye-bye. And for viewers staying until the very last of my videos, I sometimes have a little bit of a bonus. So like today, Actually, I took apart the EEL version 5 do-it-yourself kit again because I wanted to have a closer look at this fuse, what they are using here. We haven't done this in the video, so I just want to see what the specifications of this fuse actually are. Alright, and here we are. So we have the SWEAK ANL, is it called? SWEAK ANL RQI 250 amp, and it has the CE icon on it. And that's pretty much all the information we have. So this could be a normal ANL fuse, which may not be suitable for a 48 volt system. As far as I know, they only go to 32 volt DC, but not 48. So I tried to contact EEL and see what they reply to my inquiry. So hopefully we get some more information about this fuse. So this didn't take long. I just received this information here from EEL Battery. Unfortunately, it doesn't give us much information except of the dimensions. And it says also here rated voltage 80 volts DC, 80 volts AC. So apparently this is a 80 volt rated fuse. But the product model says SWEANN. So that's a bit different of what it says on the fuse. So I'm not sure if this is actually the correct document for this fuse, but this is what they provided. So the fuse characteristic down here is rated current 150% of the rated current for 1 hour, 220% 60 seconds, and 250% 0.8 to 10 seconds. So that's a very interesting characteristic of this fuse. Alright, and the second document they provided is the electrical parameters, frequency range, rated operation voltage. Here it says 130 volt AC, so this contradicts the first document a bit. And rated operation current is 10 amps to 800 amps, depending on the model you select apparently. And that's pretty much it. So we still don't have a rated breaking capacity for this fuse. I've asked them specifically for this information and I haven't received any reply from them yet. So if I get this in time, I'll put this here in the video now on the screen. If not, I'll put it later down in the description of this video here. So hopefully this is the correct fuse for this battery. So if you are after some suitable fuses for your batteries, have a look down in the link in the description. There's a link to my website which has different options of fuses, and these ones are all rated for DC and very high interruption currents.